So the usual format is that you ask questions, and that's something that obviously has happened since I came here. I think this is my 30th press conference in 60 days. I think this is not a time for words. I think that I've spoken too many words. We're in a loop. You obviously want to ask me questions all the time about the same things. From my point of view, the fans don't want to hear words at this moment in time. You probably don't want to hear words at this moment in time, and even I'm tired of hearing my own words at this moment in time. I've got full belief in myself, full belief in the players, and from my point of view, the only thing we can do now to turn this around for the club and for the fans is win football matches. And I understand that you'll want to ask me a lot of questions about positions, but if you want to ask me questions about football, about the match tomorrow, about things like that, I'm happy to respond. But I want full focus and concentration. I want to make sure that from my point of view, I'm sat here talking about football matters today. I understand that that might not be on your agenda, but it's all that's on my agenda is to work continuously hard and to try and turn this situation around for the fans most of all. If anybody's got any questions on the match tomorrow, I'm more than happy to answer those questions.
Hola Gary, buenos días. Ignacio, del diario de Mestalla. ¿Es una opción para mañana la presión adelantada, la salida del balón del Fútbol Club Barcelona? Algo que no se vio en el Camp Nou. Gracias.
Yeah, I understand this question. It was asked after the game last week against Barcelona about pressing high. My will always is want to press as high as possible, but I've seen teams over the years try pressing high against Barcelona. I've seen teams dropping off against Barcelona. If you remember, I was at Manchester United in Champions League finals for 2 or 3 times where we played against Barcelona and tried different tactics. From my point of view, Barcelona I don't think have lost for 26 matches. So teams have tried to press high and teams have tried to drop off unsuccessfully. We had some success against Real Madrid and against Barcelona. I say success, we got good results and good performances against Barcelona and Real Madrid this season in the last 2 months, playing a certain way, and that's what guided our tactics, my tactics last week towards the match in the Nou Camp. Obviously after the game, when you have such a terrible result, people will say, why didn't you press high? But I think if they look at the last Barcelona game in the Mestalla and they look at the last Real Madrid game, the tactics were very obvious, that we frustrated them, that we counter-attacked very well against them. We made a very compact block in defence and prevented space and stopped obviously their attacking players getting one-on-one situations. And that was the way in which I wanted to approach the game last week, was to try and use this same tactic because it had some relative success in the games against the two obviously top teams in the country at this moment in time.
Hello Gary, Enrique Payas from Televisión Española. How is the level of confidence of your players for the match of tomorrow?
Sorry, I didn't catch your first part of the question.
The level of confidence of the players for a match like tomorrow.
I think that obviously the interpretation from the outside will always be that the confidence is low because we haven't won matches, and there's no doubt that you've seen this team perform and win 72 points, I think it was last season, when the confidence is really high. I think at this moment in time the confidence cannot be as high as obviously it was last season when they were obviously successful and they were winning matches week in, week out. But confidence will only come through hard work, preparing well and winning football matches. And from my point of view, I do see a committed group of players. I know that that's something that that will be something on your minds. And from my point of view, I think when I look at the performances in the last 2 weeks, I do believe the moments in games have gone against us. Sporting Gijon, Deportivo, Betis. We're not sat here on 3 wins. We're sat here on one draw and 2 losses. But the chances in those games that we had to win those games, are quite incredible, and I think that when those moments change for us in matches, then the confidence will return in full because we now have all our players fit. I think there's only Javi Fuego now is not training out of the whole squad, which is a good position for us to be in, so at least we can mount a challenge from a position of strength with injuries.
Buenos días, Gary, Fernando Álvarez de Marca. Teniendo en cuenta el resultado del partido de ida y teniendo en cuenta lo mucho que se juega el equipo el sábado en Liga, ¿el partido de mañana contra el Barcelona le molesta o le puede sacar algo positivo pensando en la Liga?
I will always look at the game as though we can get something positive out of it. There are some things we need to correct from last week's match tomorrow on the pitch. Last week was unacceptable, and I've said that, and I take full responsibility for that. I think tomorrow we have to look at this game with a positive mentality. We have 2 games in 3 days. Obviously, to get the result and go through is near on impossible. What we have to think about is how we approach the game, the effort, the performance, the desire, and also we have a huge game on Saturday against Espanyol, and I have to think about that as well in respect of team selection and preparing for what is an important match on Saturday. That is the game that really, for me, obviously I've always said I'll prioritise the next game, but I think obviously with the result in the first leg, I have to prioritise Saturday, but not forget about tomorrow, because I want the performance out of the players on the pitch. I want us to perform and show the fans that are in the stadium that we are desperate to turn this around and give them what they want.
Buenos días, mister. Pablo Medrano de Deportes 4. Mister, si usted continúa como entrenador del Valencia, ¿usted nos puede prometer aquí ahora mismo, nos puede dar su palabra de honor que el Valencia no va a bajar a segunda división con usted?
From my point of view, I'm not even considering that. I know the situation that we're in. I'm desperate to turn these results round. I will turn these results round. And my belief is that these moments that we're having go against us in football matches at this moment will turn, and that they'll start to go our way very soon. That is my promise to you. Football is a cruel game sometimes. There are games that you play where you don't deserve anything. There are games that you play where you're lucky and you think, I'm happy we got a draw today. In the last 3 league games, I felt that we deserved to win the match, not lose 2 and draw 1. And I know that when we play games like that this will turn around very quickly. It has to turn around on Saturday. We have to win this match on Saturday. That is the pressure that I'm putting on myself, and is the expectation of everybody. We have to win this game on Saturday.
Hola, mister, buenos días. Cristina de Adivin Sports. Antes del partido de vuelta ante Las Palmas decía que le preocupaba mucho más el resultado que el juego. Mañana está en una línea parecida. ¿Es un hándicap añadido para el Valencia que el Barça mañana pueda batir su récord de partidos consecutivos sin perder? Son 28, mañana podría ser el récord absoluto.
I mean, obviously that's something for Barcelona to concern themselves. We have to concern ourselves with Valencia and our performances and our situation. I don't know how Barcelona are going to approach the game tomorrow, from my point of view, in terms of who they're going to play. But all I know is that the Barcelona team tomorrow will come to win the match. That's the mentality. But it has to be our mentality as well, and we have to give a performance tomorrow that satisfies our own requirements and the fans.
Aquí, Gary, al final, Dani Meroño, directo para Radio Sporting Gran 7. Quería preguntarle un poco por la figura de Diego Alves, si cree que ya está preparado para tener minutos contra el Fútbol Club Barcelona, y en este caso también preguntarle si es un partido para que jueguen los menos habituales y sobre todo para que pues hombres de la cantera como Fran Villalba, etcétera, puedan ser de la partida y por lo menos darle una alegría a la afición en ese sentido, que puedan jugar gente de la casa o que no tenga minutos. Gracias.
Yes, I think that obviously there is a restriction in the competition in terms of how many young players you can play, which I'm not quite sure why that rule exists, to be honest with you, in respect to the fact that I think that the competition should be proud to house the players of all academies. Yes, Fran Belver will be involved tomorrow. He will be in the squad, as will a few more younger players. And I suppose when I look back to the game with Barcelona, I think a couple of months ago now, you know, when I introduced Fran, you know, I spoke very highly about him. He's been working with us on the training pitch. In the last week or two, he hasn't been as much. But from my point of view, he's been with us for the 6 weeks. He has an opportunity tomorrow along with a lot of other young players, but only 3 can be on the pitch, I think. Well, it's 4, but then there's this rule around whether you get a red card causes a problem. In terms of Diego Alves, I'll be speaking to Diego today and with Ocho Terreno, the goalkeeping coach. Diego's played now, trained with us now for something like 6 to 8 weeks. He's obviously had a long injury. He's a big character, and he's obviously a vocal presence in the group, and it's good to have him back training with us. And I think obviously the 2 training matches that we organised for him leave him in a better state now to be able to be available for selection.
Vamos a las últimas preguntas ya. Sí.
Hola, Gary, Alberto Chile de Radio Marca. Me gustaría preguntarte en un partido, y sobre todo viendo la situación del equipo en el que hay tan pocas opciones de pasar la eliminatoria, ¿qué le dirías a los aficionados para que estuvieran con el equipo? ¿Qué argumentos se le podrían dar para que estuvieran apoyando al Valencia en un partido como este y de cara a los próximos?
The message I have for the fans is that they were here long before Gary Neville, and they'll be here long after Gary Neville goes. Their commitment to Valencia is unwavering. Their commitment to Valencia is blood. It's not about a coach. It's not about a player. It's about a way of life. I'm a football fan myself and grew up with this mentality. At this moment in time, the biggest, trying to think of the right word so that you don't, it doesn't come out wrong. The biggest destination I have is to be able to walk down the streets in Valencia and look them in the eye, having given them what they want in terms of victories and results. That is what I want most at this moment in time, because football fans, they come to the stadium, they travel everywhere, they obviously pay to come into the stadium and it costs them a lot. They think about it, it either makes or ruins their week, the results. They carry this emotion with them all the time. We carry that emotion as well, and most of all, I suffer with them. They can know that. I know that they obviously have been through a lot at this club, but from my point of view, I want to turn this around most for them and for the players. Gracias.
Vamos a ir, por favor, ya con 2 últimas preguntas.
Still going.
Dos últimas, y gracias por respetar la petición del entrenador que había hecho al principio. Vamos con las 2 últimas.
Sí, señor Neville, buenos días. Rafa Villalobos de la COPE. Yo también voy a hablar de fútbol. Considero que hablar de fútbol es hablar también del funcionamiento del club. Por eso me gustaría preguntarle, porque se lo pregunta mucha gente, ¿cuál es la fluidez, respetando al máximo una conversación privada, evidentemente, le hablo desde el ámbito profesional, la fluidez que hay entre el propietario y el entrenador del equipo, entre el señor Lim y entre Gary Neville? En los últimos días, por ejemplo, desde el día de Sevilla hasta el día de hoy, ¿cuántas veces ha hablado sobre el propietario? Y si me permite preguntarle una cuestión sobre estas conversaciones, si en los últimos días el señor Lim, que ha demostrado una confianza plena en usted, le ha preguntado a usted si usted se ve capacitado para sacar esta situación futbolística, de resultados. Adelante. Gracias.
I understand your I understand your question, but I think from my point of view, any conversations that I have with anybody at the club, whether it be the owners, whether it be the president, whether it be the sporting director, will always remain private, and I'm not going to go into the details of how many conversations I've had with them. I don't think that would be right. It's something that I would never do. I can't imagine any coach would do, to be honest with you. But it's fair to say I speak to them obviously a lot. I mean, it's obviously obvious that that happens, but I'm not going to go into details of how many times.
Última pregunta, sí.
Quería preguntarle un poco por la afición, ya ha comentado un poco. Usted comentaba el otro día, cuando llegaban de Barcelona, que quería ver a esa afición, al contrario que como estaban indignados. Usted comentaba que quería verla de otra manera, ¿no? ¿Qué Mestalla se espera? Hay un hashtag por ahí que pone que Mestalla vacío, pueden estar indignados. ¿Qué Mestalla se espera?
There's also a hashtag that says Valencia will come back, I believe, as well. I prefer to focus on that one than the one that you mentioned. And as I said before, the fans of this football club were here long before me and will be here long after me. It's in their heart, their soul, it's what they live for. And from my point of view, I want to give them what they want. I'm determined, I'm positive, I'm unbreakable in that respect. But at this moment in time, the results are obviously testing. They create moments where you think, you want it to turn around so desperately for them. And that's all we've got to focus on: hard work, concentration, and win on Saturday in front of all those fans that will turn up.
Vale, muy bien.